Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite plants from May. I can't believe that it's already June. That's crazy. I literally remember the start of this year. So behind me I have 5 of my favorite houseplants that I got in May, or that have just been doing really well this last month since I got them. I'm super excited to show them to you. Some of them are pretty unique in my area, and this is the first time I've actually been able to find them. And a couple of them are a little bit more on the rare side and some of my wish list plants, so I'm so glad that I'm able to add them to my collection. I can't reach over there. Alright, usually you want to save the best one to last, but I just cannot wait to show you guys this one. This is my Monstera elbow that I got. I got this 2 months ago, and it was just this one leaf cutting. When I got it, it had hardly rooted up at all. So all of April, I just let it root out in water. I water propped it, and I bought it from a local person on my Facebook group. The variation in the stem was pretty high, so I was really excited about that. And then last month it was rooted enough that I finally potted it up. When I potted it up, it had a little sprout coming out, and that sprout turned into this tiny baby leaf. And it does have a lot of variegation considering the size of the leaf, but I was kind of just upset that it was so small and sad. And it recently just put out this leaf, which is kind of not the best. It has some variegation at the top corner and like the slightest bit around the edges right here, but I do see some promise in it. A lot of this stem is white, and there is a new leaf coming out right here, and that part of it has a lot of white variegation, so I'm really hoping that next leaf will be way better. I've had this on my wish list for literally as long as I can remember. I think ever since I first saw one, because I love white variegation and I love monsteras. I mean, mine back here is just thriving, so I was so excited to get a hold of this. And I also want to get a Thai constellation hopefully here this year. I just want to collect them all. I always check Home Depot because sometimes they have sport variegation ones, and maybe I could get one for like 20 bucks, who knows. Yeah, I'm super proud of this guy and everything that he's putting out, and I really hope that it'll continue to give me what I want and grow big and strong. But if not, that's okay too. Just looking at this one leaf is really all I need. The next plant I got this month was this Philodendron fuzzy petul. I also got this one as just a rooted cutting from a auction online, and I've never seen one of these here in Reno, so I was super excited to get my hands on it. So I was super excited to get my hands on this guy. It actually just popped out this new leaf right here, and you can see maybe another leaf is actually coming in that same spot. So it's been growing pretty well for me. I love philodendrons, and I've never seen anything like this around me. So far it's pretty easy to care for. This leaf did get kind of stuck in the stem when it was unfurling, so I just helped it out with a little wet Q-tip and high humidity. It looks kind of dorky, so I'm hoping that it doesn't come out like wonky, but if it does, I'll just chop it off. This guy's pretty cool to look at too. The stem is like red right there, and it doesn't have any of the fuzzy petioles yet, but I think as it matures it'll start to get some more. I'm just really excited to see what this plant looks like when it's all like mature and grown up, because right now it's just a cute little baby. But this is definitely one of the more rare or hard to find plants that I have in my collection, and I just popped this guy in my cabinet and it seems to be happy. All right, next up is like a huge wish list plant for me. I want to get more. I don't think I'm happy with just this one. I want to get a bigger size one, but that is my allocation dragon scale. I actually bought this one from the same guy that I got the Monstera elbow from, and he was propagating it in leca, so I just kept it in leca. It does have a little bit of damage from when I transferred it to soil, because I guess it dried out a little bit too much, but just look at this guy. I love how fake they look. and I just want like a really big one because honestly the leaves on these is just stunning to me. I love them. Not really doing much for me. It had 2 leaves, a baby little one. That one dried out and died, and it hasn't really put out anything since, unfortunately. I'm hoping it's not just this one leaf. I'm hoping I'll get more growth as time goes on, but for right now it's just this little guy. If I could afford a really big plant of one, or if I could just miraculously find one, I would definitely go for it, because this is probably like top 3 favorite plant right here. I just love how they look. I'm not a huge alocasia fan though, unfortunately. My alocasia poly has died and come back at least 4 times since I've had it in the last year. So I'm not sure if, I just spilled some oil. So I'm not sure if maybe they just hate me, but anytime I move them or transfer them, they always just throw a fit. So I try not to keep too many in my collection, but this is definitely the one that I would risk it all for. Alright, next is this big, beautiful find that I actually found at Home Depot. This is my Caladium allure. This guy is actually potted up pretty nicely. It came in the ceramic pot, and don't get mad at me. Underneath it has a nursery pot as well, but they sold it in this pot with the nursery pot like underneath. So it came with this cover pot, which I think is really awesome for a place like Home Depot to do. I love how full it is, and I do want to move it to my cabinet once I have enough room. But the leaves on this thing are just gorgeous. They're stunning, and they're huge. They even have pink right up here, just a little hint of it, and I think it looks so unique. New leaves come in more green, and then I think after a while they start to turn more white. I'm not quite sure. I just got it. Unfortunately, this plant does go dormant during the winter season, but it will hopefully, if the conditions are right, grow back in the spring. So that's why I haven't seen any of these until just recently, because they are just now coming out. And a lot of people actually plant these outdoors, but obviously I want a little pop of color in my house. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it inside, and hopefully I can get it into the cabinet before winter comes. So maybe it won't go dormant. If it does though, that's okay, and I'll just wait for it to come back in spring. I'm not sure I would get any more of these. They have really unique looking ones that are pink. Just the fact that they go dormant in the winter kind of defeats my whole purpose of having plants as something to care for and look after all year round. And I feel like it would make me kind of sad if I had a whole bunch of plants that just gave up every winter, because then it would make me want to give up. Alright, the last plant is my most recent. This plant has a little backstory because I'm not supposed to be buying any plants. I'm trying to save up so that we can go on a vacation soon. But I was at Walmart, I was getting some stuff that I needed, and obviously you have to look through the plant selection. Duh, it's the rules. I'm looking for a tree to put in this area right here. I had a Majesty Palm, but it died. Those things are so picky. I was looking for a different tree, and none of the ones I could find were cat friendly, because if it's right here and they're sitting on the window, they'll love to chew it. I was just looking through like the other small plants, and I found this guy. So this is a Begonia Rex something. I can't remember the full name, but this is the first begonia I've ever had, and for a while I didn't get any begonias because I heard they're really hard to care for. I would look at them and I'd be like, those look really cool, but I don't know if they look that cool in person or if I would be able to even take care of it. And then I actually saw this begonia and I was like, wow, the leaves look like magic. The petioles look really cool too. They're like white with red, and they're like kind of hairy. And the issue, obviously I bought it at Walmart and it did have fungus gnats, so I had to treat it for fungus gnats, but now it's living in my cabinet and it seems to be pretty happy and healthy. This leaf is like kind of wonky from when I got it, but the rest of the leaves, they look really cool, and I think it's so unique. I definitely want to buy more begonias. I think they're just a really cool plant to look at, and it's kind of interesting, you know, like a pothos is fine and a peace lily is fine, but like you look at a begonia and you're like, whoa, this thing looks crazy. But begonias just like blow my mind with how cool they look. Like, what? Honestly though, if I kill this guy, redact everything that I just said because I will not try again. I'm here to live a good life with plants and not struggle to take care of something just because it looks cool. That is not in my motto. But so far so good with this guy. And he was only $4, okay, $3.48. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get him. And if I like him, I can go back and I can get another one for $3.48 and have a whole room full of begonias. So those are my plant favorites for May. And I'll make sure to keep a list of all of the ones that I'm loving for June because I know this month is just gonna fly by. I'm so excited for it to be summer. And maybe I'll do an update on some of those smaller plants like my dragon scale and see how they're going, if everything's going okay with them, and if I was able to keep them alive. Let me know down below what your favorite plants of May were, if you have any, and why they're your favorites. Don't forget to follow my TikTok and join our Discord community. Both links will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!